Tracy McGrady and Gilbert Arenas just dropped a conversation that LeBron fans did not want hit in the streets. Two certified NBA legends sat down and peeled apart the whole idea that LeBron James belongs in that GOAT talk with Kobe Bryant. And they didn't sugarcoat a thing. They didn't just toss opinions around either. They broke down real hoop details to separate true basketball masters from straight-up physical freaks of nature. The real shocker came when T-Mac threw out one simple question that changed the whole vibe. If LeBron had to run the triangle offense like Kobe, and Kobe got treated like the system the way LeBron has his whole career, who would shine more?
I think when we talk about Bron, obviously we hold him to high regards of what he was able to accomplish, rightfully so. But when you look at Bron and you look at Kobe, Bron is the system. Mm-hmm. Do we agree with that? Yep. Bron is the system. Kobe played in the system. Do you think if Bron played in a system like the triangle and Kobe was the system, do they have the same type success individually?
I don't think so.
That's the question.
You got them in deep thought right now, pondering. So
put Bron in the triangle
with Shaq
in the triangle. No, put him in the triangle. I'm just saying, put him in the triangle. It doesn't.
Oh, okay, put him in the triangle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he have that same success?
Gilbert didn't even hesitate. He hit them with a cold answer. No, LeBron would never win a championship in the triangle. That moment shook the room. What these former All-Stars exposed about LeBron's limits shows exactly why being the most athletic dude on the floor doesn't automatically make you the greatest ever. And trust me, what they broke down is about to flip some famous narratives upside down.
As a player,
Kobe?
both of them. If Cole played like Bron, pace, controlling tempo, facilitating.
Oh, pass the ball. Nah, he ain't passing that.
No.
So Bron. So what you saying? So
the 81.
No. Okay, so if you're taking,
Bron can't play like Bron can't play like Kobe, or Kobe can't play like Bron in the system.
Kobe can't play like Bron. I gotta give him those teams too. Then
give him the teams.
So I gotta give him the
teams.
The teams he scored all the points on, and they didn't win nothing because
give him the teams.
He don't care about them.
So he don't win.
Yeah, 81.
He's gonna get the scoring. He's gonna get all the scoring titles. He's gonna get the scoring titles.
But he has a record in scoring for sure.
But he's not gonna win, Swag.
T-Mac and Gilbert laid out the biggest difference between Kobe and LeBron in a way nobody else has said. LeBron is the system, and Kobe played inside the system. That one distinction exposes a lot about who truly mastered the game and who needed everything built around them.
Perfectly positioned to take that away.
Excellent ball denial from Artest. Bryant has to come outside to get it. Drives, fires a long three. It's good! At the buzzer! Kobe Bryant nails the three-pointer.
When they say LeBron is the system, they mean everything in his offense has to revolve around high pick and rolls, open driving lanes, shooters spacing out to hide his shaky jumper, and non-stop screens to create the angles he needs. His whole game depends on the team reshaping itself around his strengths. Kobe was the opposite. He could fit into any scheme like it was nothing. He mastered every scoring skill. Mid-post, isolation, off-ball, footwork, fadeaways, whatever the system needed, he already had it.
Different
in what way? What do you mean?
With Kobe, there was a sense of you had to make sure that you don't let him get to a sweet spot.
Is it rhythm?
Because it was a rhythm thing.
Well, I was about to say.
Triangle,
right?
Stuff like that.
Spots. He had sweet spots.
All that, kind of like P. Pierce.
Right. 2 dribble pull-ups, 1 dribble pull-ups.
Get to his footwork, knowing what he want to do, the fade away, stuff like that. So with Kobe, it was a matter of don't let him get to his sweet spots. He's going to be physical with you. He's going to try to wear you down. So once the fourth quarter come, he'll get to those spots and everything else is butter.
Right. They letting him get away for everything in the fourth quarter.
You see what I'm saying? They let him get what. So
pushing off.
He's trying to wear you down and stuff like that. With LeBron, it was a matter of you got to fight through 150 pick and rolls throughout the whole game. He's going to get Gauskas, Verajao, all these set pick and roll at the pick. We're going to wear him down.
We're going
to wear him down.
This
and in
is
the fourth corner, I'm going to get into
too.
my package.
Right.
Ooh. You see what I'm saying? So it was two different things.
The triangle offense didn't need to bend for him. He bent himself to the system. That's what a complete player looks like. The hypothetical they threw out was brutal for LeBron's legacy. Put LeBron in Phil Jackson's triangle, and he's fighting uphill the whole time because that offense demands players who can work in isolation, hit tough jumpers, and score from different angles. LeBron shaky's post work, streaky jumper, and reliance on athletic mismatches wouldn't hit the same. But flip it. Give Kobe the same treatment LeBron got. Make him the system. And Gilbert said it straight. Kobe would rack up scoring titles in every individual award in sight, but the team results wouldn't be the same because that style doesn't lift the whole squad the way the triangle did. And that exposes something huge. LeBron has never fully sacrificed his personal style to fit inside a proven team structure. Then Tashawn Prince Chates, who spent years guarding both, added the perfect breakdown that showed exactly why their games age so differently. His experience exposed why one style creates long-lasting dominance while the other relies on wearing teams down over and over. Prince said it came down to one rule every defender had to follow. Don't let him get to his sweet spots. Prince broke it down perfectly. He said LeBron's whole plan was to be physical for 3 long quarters, beat you up possession after possession, and then hit his favorite spots in the fourth when your legs were gone. Once he got there, everything turned smooth for him. Kobe's approach was totally different though. He had exact locations on the floor where he turned into a nightmare. 2 dribble pull-ups, that icy fadeaway from the elbow, and those post-ups where his footwork got so sharp defenders couldn't do a thing to stop him. Guys guarding him knew exactly what was coming, but even then, they couldn't touch it because Kobe had polished those moves until they were nearly untouchable. With LeBron, it wasn't about mastery. It was about surviving 100 to 150 pick and rolls a night. Prince said that exposed LeBron's biggest issue. He didn't have unstoppable moves, so he leaned on volume and non-stop screening just to create openings. The gap between them was massive. Kobe could get a clean look against anybody in any setup because he mastered the fine details of scoring. LeBron needs help. Screens, mismatches, and situations other players have to create for him. That's why Kobe stayed clutch game after game, while LeBron sometimes struggled when everything broke down. In those critical moments, when the play collapses and the system isn't saving anyone, you need individual mastery, not a structure built to protect your weaknesses. Then Gilbert pointed out something real. The moment great players learn when to sacrifice for winning. And what he said made LeBron's career decisions look a little shaky. Gilbert said Kobe knew early when his squad had championship potential. He said, I want to be individual, but once he got Pau Gasol, he realized we good enough to win, and he shifted into the system. That's maturity. That's basketball IQ. Kobe didn't run away from his team or force trades. He adjusted his style to fit what the roster needed. He grew inside the same framework. But with LeBron, Gilbert said there were stretches where he sacrificed when the team wasn't even strong enough, and times he should have sacrificed but didn't. And the roughest part? Gilbert hinted that LeBron's sacrifices usually just meant he needed better players around him so his system could work. When he couldn't elevate teammates through that system, he left to find new ones instead of building more all-around skills himself. The pattern became obvious. Instead of becoming a player who could dominate inside any system, LeBron kept jumping into systems that covered up what he couldn't do. Then T-Mac dropped the line that cut the deepest. He said if LeBron had learned the triangle offense early in his career, he would have grown into a totally different player, more polished, more complete, more versatile. But as he stands today, if you throw him into the triangle now, there's no doubt who the better player would be. Would he be better than Kobe? No. That exposed the real issue. LeBron never developed into a complete player who could thrive anywhere. He became dependent on systems built around his strengths and hiding his limits. The triangle offense forces hoopers to build real skills, post work, sharp footwork, mid-range touch, and the ability to score one-on-one without anyone setting a screen for you. Those are the things to separate regular stars from legends who live forever in basketball history. And Gilbert didn't hold back at all. He said, the triangle forces your footwork, and that was the one thing LeBron never sharpened. In Gilbert's words, LeBron was rough as a true one-on-one scorer. Once you remove the system tricks, the pick and rolls, the wide spacing, the easy matchups, you start asking what's left in LeBron's bag. And this whole conversation exposed something nobody wanted to say out loud. LeBron built his entire game around maximizing his athletic gifts instead of rounding out every skill. That strategy cooks defenders when you're 25 and built like a tank. But later in your career, it hits you hard. That's why LeBron's decline looks sharper than other all-time names. Real basketball legends didn't rely on youth or raw power. They developed skills that lasted no matter the era, the system, or the roster around them. Meanwhile, LeBron built a dependency on systems designed to cover the gaps instead of becoming a fully complete player. Then, T-Mac and Gilbert hit the real standard, the mastery standard. To sit in that top 5 conversation, you have to be a master of the game itself, not just the parts that match your physical tools. That's where LeBron gets pushed out. Mastery means your game holds up everywhere. Scoring, footwork, defense, mid-range, post work, all of it. Jordan, Kobe, Kareem, Hakeem, Duncan. These guys dominated in every era they touched. They didn't need everything customized for them. They mastered the game so deeply that any system they entered became dangerous. Gilbert even said a lot of NBA players aren't true masters. Some are just tall or strong, and that's enough to get them in the league. That's where LeBron gets placed. An unreal athlete who became a great basketball player, but not one who mastered every layer of the game. His career was built on optimizing physical advantages instead of developing a skill set that stands up anywhere. And that's why some legacies shine brighter the more the game evolves. People start valuing complete craft over raw athletic explosions. Run the mastery test on LeBron and the gaps show up instantly. So streaky post moves, shaky footwork, tough mid-range struggles, defensive drops, and the biggest issue, he doesn't elevate teammates inside structured offenses. Then T-Mac and Gilbert hit the hardest conclusion. LeBron doesn't belong in that top 5 debate when you're measuring pure basketball mastery instead of stats and athletic highlights. Jordan, Kobe, Kareem, Hakeem, and Duncan all dominated within real team systems while staying elite individually. They built skills that worked everywhere, with any teammates, any coach, any era. LeBron's career has always depended on finding the perfect circumstances, not building the perfect skill set. Whenever the circumstances weren't right, he switched locations instead of fixing the cracks in his game. That pick and roll dependency Prince talked about isn't just a style preference, it's a limitation. The greats thrive no matter what system you plug them into because they've mastered the fundamentals. LeBron has always needed the whole offense rearranged around what he does best. Meanwhile, players like Kobe could walk into an already successful system and elevate it without needing to change the whole playbook. That's the difference between being accommodated and being a master. Most importantly, all of this explains why the players who actually battle both of them could spot the difference even when the media tried to act like long careers equal true basketball greatness. The uncomfortable truth is this. Tracy McGrady and Gilbert Arenas just dropped the most honest breakdown of LeBron's limits we've ever heard from guys who were really in the league. Their whole analysis of why Kobe thrived inside structured systems, while LeBron needed everything customized, exposed the real gap between mastering the sport and just maximizing what your body can do. The triangle offense talk wasn't really about that one system. It was about the difference between developing every skill in your bag versus depending on perfect conditions everywhere you go. Kobe built tools that worked in any offense, any era, any squad. LeBron built a style that had to be installed every time he arrived somewhere. Then, Tayshaun Prince's defensive view sealed it. Kobe had moves you simply couldn't ignore.
The detour coverage because they were unstoppable. LeBron leaned on volume, screens, and system advantages that could be slowed down if you prepared the right way and stayed disciplined for 4 quarters. The sacrifice talk exposed a whole different angle too. Kobe shifted his style when he saw his team had real championship potential. Meanwhile, when LeBron's approach didn't hit the way he wanted, he switched the situation entirely. That contrast told its own story. But the toughest part was the mastery standard. The true legends, the ones who sit above the noise, built full games that survived any era, any teammates, any coaching style. LeBron perfected his physical advantages, but he never reached that complete mastery level that put someone into the highest tier of basketball history. This conversation shows what former players really see, things casual fans and headline narratives ignore. Being great and being one of the greatest require two different standards, and LeBron doesn't hit that top standard no matter how big his stats are. If this breakdown opened your eyes to how real players judge greatness, hit that subscribe button for more raw, unfiltered talk from people who actually live the game at the highest level. Sometimes the real truth only comes from the ones who had to guard greatness themselves. So when I saw this, I was shocked too. It felt like watching a wild movie moment, almost like Tom Hanks staring at Wilson drifting away on the beach. And I thought Montrezl Harrell handled it perfectly.